Key, how much did you like playing against your former teams?
Oh, it was fine. I mean, Tampa Bay was the one. That was the one that you know what I'm saying, I couldn't wait to get to. Tampa Bay was the one. When I was in Carolina, I couldn't wait to display them talents. Because of John Gruden. I mean, it's a fact. It's not a secret or anything like that. I wouldn't give a damn if I won 10 championships there. I don't care. I was trying to get to him to embarrass him.
Who's him?
John Gruden. That was my whole purpose in life that year was to get to Tampa Bay and embarrass him. And
hey, let me ask you though, when you went back to Tampa Bay after you initially left, where did you go from Tampa Bay?
Dallas.
Okay, so when you went and you didn't play Tampa Bay again
no, we didn't
until
play.
you got to Carolina.
Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, but I told you the other day, Joy, about the Cooper Kupp situation, and it didn't necessarily end the way that most people would think, that it was all rosy. It wasn't all rosy in the end.
Puka came in that time.
No, but it's not even a Puka thing. It just was.
Oh, look at it. How you gonna explain that?
All that noise. Oh, yeah, all that raw, man. Oh, man. Oh, well, who pulled that off?
Right there.
I told you, boy.
Oh, that's all.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, man. No, the picture says everything. You ain't got to say nothing. The picture says everything.
That's a grip.
Coach, you know I love you, Coach. I don't know why they like this, Coach. I love you so much, buddy.
Coach,
Man, why you let me go, Coach?
That's crazy.
Why you ain't keep me here, man? I miss you, baby.
Eye contact.
You know,
That's crazy.
You know, I just
Y'all
want to
go
let
kiss.
you know at the end of the game, that's at the end of the game.
Y'all might as well kiss.
When you walk across the field, I just want to let you know what I just did to you. That's all, and I'm smiling at you for that.
No, that's the beginning. It's still a lot of fans in the stands. That's the beginning of the game.
That's the end.
Key, that looks like your heart is filled with good glory.
Like I love you, Coach. I love you, Coach.
Glory, like you're remembering y'all championship story.
Look, that's the beginning of the game. You know, beginning of the game. First play.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Nah, that ain't the first play.
Yeah, it is first play of the game.
Dang.
Yeah, first play.
Oh, out the gate, just like y'all hold this.
Yeah, we got him. I had like 97.
Okay.
I had 97 a touchdown and a touchdown to the
They
ground.
gave Key a reverse.
Oh,
Yeah,
reverse?
why not?
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were trying to show you up. They were giving you the stage. They gave you the stage because it was just okay, I can dig that.
I didn't think that joke.
That was before the game right there.
But I'm gonna be respectful. He knew what it was.
That's crazy.
Right, man. You made it seem like it was a lot of animosity.
Right, man. That's sweet, man. Look at that, man.
That's the end of the game. As Michael said, that glory.
That's good. That's good.
He ain't even stunned you.
Y'all like one of them married couples, man. Y'all fight hard and love hard. I understand. They fight hard and love hard. I can dig it.
Y'all love this
I can dig it.
Look what he said. You can read his lips. Out of here.
I love this. Y'all, this is why we got the best. This is why we got the best.
Out of here.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I don't mess with you, don't grab my arm like that.
But he was trying to grab me close so they didn't hear what he was saying to me.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say to you.
You know, but that was fine. That was cool.
You got a new nickname. You got a new nickname.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, good.
He got a new nickname. Key Cap-a-Lot.
I ain't joking out. Boy, you're a true boy. Hey. Don't let him mess with you.
I enjoy waking up every morning to come to this show. This is why I enjoy it, because this is the best sports talk show on television, bar none. I don't give a damn what the ratings say, nothing. This is the best, and we have all the fun in the world.
I agree.
That's funny, buddy.
That was, you know what? I thought you explained that very well, Keith.
Yeah.
The new might have to be, how you gonna explain that?
How you gonna explain that? Y'all set me up. Y'all so funny. That's all right, Joy.
I knew nothing about it.
You teed it up right, though.
I knew nothing about it.
Great things, man. Great things. And I'm talking about great things for the now and the later. You know, the now part is I'm expecting Cooper Kupp, main and healthy, to really give this team something as they interject this Clint Kubiak offense. And also remember now, JSN last year had a lot of yards in the slot. So not only is Cooper Kupp going to help this year and help get them where they want and help Sam Darnold, he's also going to teach JSN this offense and how to play the slot in this offense. Say what you will, there's nobody better at understanding the holes in a defense and how this offense works than Cooper Kupp. So this is a win on the front end and on the back end.
No, it really truly is. And Michael said something about playing in the slot. And when you get into this style offense, there's condensed splits. And what that means is they're tighter to the line of scrimmage, to the tackles and the tight ends. And so Cooper Kupp could essentially still be in the slot. You take nothing away from him. He's just stacked on the outside. So his wide departure, which means that he's departing wide, which now puts him on the outside, keeps JSN inside in the slot. So they both kind of still playing their natural positions. They're not asking Cooper Kupp to line up on the outside edge of the numbers and put an 18-yard comeback because that's just not what he does. But this offense, along with him, Sam Darnold, who's coming over from Minnesota, and Kubiak, who's coming over from New Orleans, it's the same. His learning curve will be like that much. It will be that much.
And they're going to spend all the time together. They'll start eating breakfast together. Him and Sam, they'll eat breakfast together. Same thing you heard that was going on with him and Matthew Stafford. They'll all eat breakfast together, and then JSN will start worrying. And are you throwing the ball? All that stuff's going to happen. If I'm JSN, I'm going to say, will y'all have breakfast?
Let me know right there.
Like when Key called and said, y'all were going out to eat, him and Joy. I said, I'm going with y'all. I'm going with y'all. Well, you know, so they'll understand that. I love the pickup for them. I really do.
How important is that, just spending that kind of time with your teammates to develop that? Because obviously, like, you're going to spend time on the field, you're going to get those reps and all of that, but knowing your teammate personally, especially when you need to have that kind of a relationship.
Well, most of the time when receivers spend time with the quarterback and when scorers like me spend time with the point guard, you want the ball.
Right.
And so you want to try to, at the end of the day, you want to build that not only on the court, but off the court. You know, because then it gets to the point where you have that chemistry to where you ain't even got to say it. You can just look at them and they're going to know what you're thinking. Like, right now is the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's important, I think, when you're trying to develop something between, especially two new players. Like, when Kevin and Ray got to the team, we immediately was going to lunch, talking on the phone every day. I mean, I'm talking about we was every day after practice, we're going to go eat here.
Y'all was already talking on the phone when you recruited them.
No, of course. You know, it starts somewhere.
You're learning those mannerisms. That's why
because most teams, when you get them together, they don't jump out the gate. But, like, since we spent so much time in the offseason and did all these things, we went out quick out the gate, and we won in our first year together. So that's important.
Yeah, and it does bind you now, because you move from being teammates to being boys. You know what I mean? Like, Troy's my boy. I don't care. Don't you? Hey, and I know he doesn't like throwing interceptions, you know, so I'm going to protect against that. And you spend time like that. You learn each other mannerisms, man. He was talking about that. Isaiah Thomas was talking about that the other day on NBA TV when he was talking about the point guard is a lot like the quarterback. You know, you got to be able to signal and know where guys are going and build that relationship. So, yeah, that's very important.
Body language, just all of those sort of things.
Mannerisms, everything.
You're running a certain type of route, and they know where you're going to be. And you may do something that to a normal person look and go, well, he's doing the wrong thing. But the quarterback know you're going to wind up in the right spot at the right time. I mean, that's just, I used to line up, Joy, Michael knows this, I used to line up Paul. They would say line up on the outside edge of the numbers or whatever to run the bang 8, which is typically where you should be. I'd line up on the inside edge of the number 2 and then take a wide departure split. The DB, he toe up now because he thinking I'm getting ready to do something totally different. The coaches will see it and I said, don't worry about that. I know what I'm doing. Just
because he's a big body. Now the quarterback will know this also because, all right, he's a big body. Now, most guys, if you run a slant route or something, they want to see separation. He a big body. He's widening out. He also wants to touch you. Or you touch him, he knows where you are. Now you can still make that throw to a guy like this. I will catch it this way if somebody's coming this way. That bang 8, you got somebody coming this way. You better put that on your body or you're going to be going to the hospital. You see what I'm saying? He knows that bang. That's why they call it a bang 8. It's going to be bang, bang. That's what they tell you. You're going to get that hit.
Well, speaking of the Troy Aikman, the Cowboys were in on the Cooper Kupp sweepstakes, but reportedly backed out when they started hearing the numbers. So, Michael, was it a mistake for the Cowboys not to pay Cooper Kupp?
Man, I love what has happened with Cooper Kupp, having the opportunity to go back home and play where he's from and all of that. And he's talked about how excited he is to play in front of the 12. You know, imagine growing up in that area and now getting a chance to play. Dallas Cowboys could have used that talent. But CeeDee Lamb is our pure number one. And I don't need anything messing with his thoughts in any kind of way. So I'm glad Cooper Kupp landed in a great spot. That 12th pick needs to go to either that running back or that wide receiver. Give me Gentry or give me that receiver out of Texas. And that's the partner that we're going to partner with CD to create what we need to create offensively to put points on the board and not mess up the mentality that goes on in that locker room. We got enough of that going on already.
You know, I would have liked to see them dig deep in their pockets and bring in a Cooper Kupp. Because to me, it's not a threat to CeeDee Lamb. They two different style receivers. CD can play all over the board. He can line up outside. He can move inside. Again, if it's true that Schottenheimer wants to be more creative with the system, then you can line them up similar to what we just talked about in Seattle. You can stack them in bunch formations, and they can wide departure expand. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. But when you are extremely frugal with the players that you need to be signing, we've watched this for several years now, of Dallas just keep passing on guys and passing on that we think could potentially help you when there's teams out there like a Washington in your division or like a Philadelphia in your division that says, how much you want? I think we could do that number. You know, and so it's a little mind-boggling that Dallas continues to miss on things that they need. And I understand you like the kid out of Texas and Matthew Golden. You think he's a hell of a player. There's no question about it. But you adding a young guy that has to learn the National Football League when you got a Super Bowl Triple Crown winner sitting right there, it's going to cost you $20 million. $20 million. It's going to cost you 1 year. It's a 1 year deal, basically. Even though it's a 3-year 45, that number breaks down about $20 million in 1 year.
But I also saw in that Green Bay game, Dallas and Green Bay, when Dak early on missed CeeDee Lamb on a slant route.
Yeah.
And they refused to basically talk to each other the rest of the game. So what that tells me was, since it was early in the game, that there was some prior problems that they brought into the game, because that was too early for you to be that mad. And whatever that was, I don't know what it was.
Well, it was carried over from the week before.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And why? So somebody's carrying over things that shouldn't be carrying over. So I don't want to mess with the sensitivity of the situation. You know what I mean? That's why I'd rather go get a young guy to partner with CD. So we gonna mess with the sensitivity of those situations and fall back into that situation that we were in that playoff game.
I understand, Michael, the sensitivity. I get it. But it's not helping you get to your ultimate goal. When you bring a young dude in that's got to learn how to line up, you got to be telling him, hey, man, 2 + 2, get this split. Young dude. When you got a veteran guy,
I totally understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but the veteran guy got a pretty good penny, and he was definitely going to be out of our range. We have to sign Micah Parsons, and we can't give him $20 million. That got to go to Micah Parsons.
Right.
I can give him 20 and still find another 20 or 50 or 60 or whatever Micah Parsons.
Are we surprised, though? Are we really surprised that the Cowboys don't? I mean,
you said they weren't going to get him.
Yeah, I said it. I said they don't. When the last time they signed a significant free agent?
But the thing is they had Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb communicating with him to try to court him to come. And then they pulled the rug from underneath them.
Because the money got too much.
Are we shocked?
Because the money got too much. And I'm glad at least y'all are hearing that they were trying, and CD and those guys were recruiting. So maybe they could have worked. But the money got too big.
They don't sign the checks.
You think it was a mistake for them not to be?
Absolute mistake. But I'm not surprised. We do this every year with the Cowboys. They could have probably had Derrick Henry last year? Probably.
They could have had a lot of people.
They could have. You know what I'm saying? Why would I not even shocked at whatever the Cowboys
bargain shopping.
I just don't understand how they spend so much money and are still so cheap. I just don't get how they do business. You need more than one receiver. We're going to talk about this later in the show.
No doubt.
You need more than one receiver. They're very eerily close to being irrelevant. They're not a good enough team for them to be considered contenders. They've got 2 teams ahead of them in their own division that we think are capable of getting to at least the NFC Championship game, let alone the Super Bowl, and one of them just won the Super Bowl. I don't even know where they fall within the league right now. They're a 9-10 win team, maybe. They're sniffing around the playoffs, and I think I'm being generous there. They don't take chances. They don't take big swings. They wait too long to sign their top players, and they have to overpay their players. And then they don't have the money to go out and get other free agents. Obviously, you can build through the draft and pay the guys that you develop. That's important to do. But there's multiple ways to build up a team. It's not just always young developing players. And I think that they play it safe, but then write the biggest checks, and it's just very confusing from a business perspective.
To the homegrown.
Yeah, but you have to do a mixture of homegrown and free agents.
Absolutely.
And the free agents are always going to be more expensive because it's their opportunity.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping that they are parsing this out in this manner as we are learning things like, okay, DeMarcus Lawrence, they could have used that talent. But now that he has departed, we're finding out that there was a little grief and beef that was going on in that locker room, obviously. So maybe they're getting inside and discerning who. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. You know what I mean? We need to make sure that those things work out. Whatever that was between Dak and CD. If we're not going to bring in talent, we got to make sure we're all on one page. I'm about to tell you that as I speak to them and to get it together. We got to all be on one page. That's what they're trying to get. No, the only problem they have is finding his money. Let's get his money. And making sure you remove the people that are not on the same page. That's the reality of that. There is no Micah Parsons problem outside of getting him signed. Now, I know how tough that is, and Jerry has to get that done. And I heard they met the other day, and I heard that this morning, actually, that they met, and that was good. But we need to get it done. No doubt they need to get it done. And it starts with Micah Parsons. So I don't want to hear there's a Micah Parsons problem. I don't see it. The way he's played, he's earned what he's going to get, and they'll work that out. I just don't want it to take forever.
You are very you're very good when it comes to the Cowboys. They make you work hard in the offseason.
What's that? What do you mean? No,
it's working though. You just the Cowboys just make it right. It's okay though, big bro. It's all
there
good.
There are easier routes.
They making you work hard.
Do the Cowboys have a Micah Parsons problem, Keyshawn?
No, they don't, Joy. They don't have a problem. Look, Michael talked about maybe, getting rid of some of the guys that's not on the same page. Well, maybe those guys are on the same page. Maybe he ain't on the page that they're on. That's why they keep saying the things that they're saying about him from a defensive standpoint in, the social media and all those sort of things. But look, he likes to talk. He wants to be visible. He wants to one day be up where Michael is, and as many great Cowboys have done, television. He wants to do all of those things.
Right.
He's still a hell of a football player. He goes on the football field. He gets it done. If he could just somehow figure out how to finish like he starts, then that conversation will change differently. He's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League here within the next several months. There's no question about it. But when you start to hear things leak out from organizations, it ain't necessarily the executives who's saying these things. It could be players. It could be people that just happen to be around the building that start to say things that really don't truly understand who this young man is and what makes him tick and the things that he does to get prepared for games and all of that. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't never in trouble. Right. He's just a football player who likes to talk.
Yeah, I mean, these rumblings, think about it.
With that.
These things always come out, and I've seen it in professional sports when you're not winning. Mm-hmm. Because if they put together a winning season, get to the playoffs, we wouldn't even be talking about this. But when you start to lose, all the little excuses come in. Oh, he's that's a distraction. Oh, he's back and forth with other teammates, not showing. It's a distraction. Now everything's being a distraction where you could have been doing this for like the last 2 or 3 years, but nobody talked about that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens what happens to myself in Boston at times. Oh, he's hanging out too much when we start losing and stuff and all that. I'm like, listen, I'm been doing the same thing we do when we win and when we lose. Right. But it gets louder when the season don't go your way. That's all it is. They do not have a Micah Parsons problem. Like you said, Michael, they have a problem how much they're going to sign them for.
Right. And also what you do have that I think they've cleared up and I was trying to intimate towards is when you have two alpha males in a locker room, and DeMarcus Lawrence was once the alpha male in that locker room, and then comes Micah Parsons, you have two alpha males, and if those two alpha males don't get along, you're going to have a split locker room because DeMarcus has people that he's going to pull over to his side, and Michael will have people that he'll pull over to his side. Now, one of those are gone. I'm not worried about having dissension in the locker room because one alpha male has gone, and usually all the lions will come on back to the male lion, to the king of the jungle, and that's Michael Parsons, and will fall in line and play as such. That's what I think will happen. That's why I say I thought it was. Now that I see, I'm glad that things has transpired with DeMarcus Lawrence the way they have.
Locker rooms are crazy.
I don't think that the Cowboys have a Micah Parsons problem at all. I think the Cowboys have a winning problem.
There it is.
What is the main thing, right? You keep the main thing, right? We always say that about whatever it is that we do. What's the main thing in Dallas? It's not winning. Because they don't win.
The main thing is Jerry's world.
The star on the side of the helmet?
The star, the headlines, Jerry. How can you talk about Micah Parsons being a problem when the owner has
They haven't won in 30 years.
Radio show every single week.
Thank you.
The owner talks to the reporters after every single game. Anytime there's something going on, sometimes he talks to them before the game. How could it be Micah Parsons' problem? How is it his fault? He's not been there for 30 years. It's the same thing that we talk about with Dak. It's also not Dak's fault that they haven't won in 30 years. When something happens over and over and over again, and you expect a different result, it is the definition of insanity. What is the consistent thing there? My issue with Dallas is this. It's always a player's fault. It's Micah Parsons' fault because he has a podcast. Micah Parsons' podcast has nothing to do with them winning or losing. It is the culture in Dallas. It is the decision makers. It is the consistent habits of Jerry to put people in charge who are not as big as him, which is exactly what he just did. We talked for many, many weeks about the potential of hiring Deion Sanders, but Deion was just one. Coach Prime was just one. There was a whole list of guys that were hired at many other places around the league that had great potential and great results. And I don't know what Brian Schottenheimer is going to be, but I don't think any of us at this desk are optimistic about it. But we do know one thing. Jerry Jones is bigger than Brian Schottenheimer.
Right.
So there is just a consistent habit of the Dallas Cowboys that it is always this thing. Oh, it's Micah Parsons now. It's not Micah Parsons' podcast's fault that the Dallas Cowboys haven't been to the NFC Championship game.
Right.
It's not Micah Parsons' fault.
No.
He is a symptom of the Cowboys.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.